Welcome, Chick Army, to your Podcast A Go-Go. I'm Director of Fun Mike Quackenbush, coming to you live from Center Neptune to prescribe to you one more week's dose of CHIKARA goodness. This week on the Go-Go, I've got another complete match for you, and it's from our sold-out UK tour. We concluded the tour in London, England, at the Garage, and it was there that we saw Oleg the Usurper go one-on-one with Silverant. Now, this was not part of our Challenge of the Immortals round-robin tournament. This was for points toward title contention. And this coming weekend, we're going to see Oleg in the Grand Championship title bout. He's going to challenge Hallowicked, but first he had to collect 3 points. And let's take a look at how he did that right now.
To a rollicking start here as Oleg the Usurper takes on Silverant. Silverant representing the Nightmare Warriors, kind of the odd man out of that team. Not the odd man out here at the commentation station. Bryce Remsburg joining me.
Why, thank you, Leonard. It's great to be here. The same could be said for Oleg the Usurper on the Arcane Horde. Kind of the, in ways, the last guy picked in dodgeball at the Challenge of the Immortals, not with his Wrecking Crew buddies. And I mean, Smashmaster, McMassive, Rumble Crunch, Jocka, even Bacabella, making no mistakes about the fact that Oleg was an afterthought. Like, Oleg was not even high on their priority list. Easily the fifth out of the 5 most valued clientele under Sidney Bacabella's contractual obligation. But much to their, displeasure, I'm sure he's succeeding in many ways. Not only in victories, in-ring competition, and in popularity. Really, it was over this weekend here in the UK that Oleg's popularity has soared. Every venue we played, every event we visited, a few more in the crowd with the Oleg chant kind of followed him all weekend. It'd be interesting to see his reaction once he get back to the stage.
Absolutely. He was getting a little bit of a backing behind
sure.
When we were in North Carolina and Virginia lately. We'll see how that translates over. When we return, as you mentioned, the States to Massachusetts. We return to Easton for Rosario.
Chicago, Indianapolis, South Windsor, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, and on and on and on. But yeah, Sidney Bacabella not going to be happy. Not going to be happy with when he figures out how to work a computer and watches these events on Chikaratopia.
I think somebody else is working a computer for Bacabella.
He probably has a guy. He's got a guy. He's got a shoes guy. He's got a hairpiece guy. He's one of those guys that's got guys.
He's got a cummerbund guy.
Yeah, he's got a guy.
Silverant now in control of this contest.
Bruisers.
He's really going to have his work cut out for him, if you ask me. He's given up a lot of size here to Oleg. Usually Silverant's very evenly matched, or much bigger and much more muscular than most of his other opponents here. Oleg now just tossing him around like nobody's business.
It's interesting to watch Silverant adapt. He's in many ways a wrestling chameleon. Oh, we saw that last night in Cardiff against Mark Andrews. I was just about to say how he changes his style depending on the size of his opponent. Then he uses a move that he used against a smaller opponent. But nonetheless, last night we saw him trying to ground the aerial attack of Mark Andrews, and tonight more of a chopping down the tree type offense, I would imagine, against the bruising, strike-heavy offense of Oleg the Usurper. Oh!
All right, that's the thing. That's very interesting to bring that up. Cover here, not even one count.
Not even.
It's very similar strategies when you're against a guy who is a powerhouse, who is a brute like Oleg the Usurper, and a guy like you mentioned, Mark Andrews, who is a high flyer. Both those guys, you keep them on the ground, and that's going to eliminate a good chunk of their offense. Mm-hmm. Oleg's not one much known for his catches can wrestling, his submission game. So if Silverant can keep him on the ground, this is his match.
You are correct, and I think Silverant realizes that. Oleg, not a big strategy guy, I take it. Not a big homework doer, not a big... He kind of goes after the bell rings, someone's across the ring from him, and he starts to fight.
He's not studying tapes, you don't think?
No, not a big... No. Jeez. You heard that crack there. And Oleg quickly decides he doesn't want to exchange smacks with Silverant. Goes to the knee to the breadbasket there.
Silverant delivers those headbutts and a lot of wind-up. It's almost like he's trying to push his head through his opponent's head I think that adds a little bit more oomph, a little bit more mustard onto it, up to the outside, and there you see again that same headbutt.
Dangerous offense, the headbutts. Now, springboard double, and into the front, flipping senton. No leg hook, barely a 1 count. You don't see a lot of mustard over here, Leonard. I don't know if you've noticed that. Yeah, ketchup, a lot of mayonnaise. Not a lot of mustard.
Somebody told me the other day that in Brooklyn there is a store that sells just mayonnaise.
Goodness gracious.
That's it. There's ever a reason to hate Brooklyn.
No thank you. Scissors kick there. Pump style bicycle gets Oleg off the apron. And Silverant's got something in mind. No.
I was going to say, he's in those throngs of crowd. Those fans should have ran. But where can they go? It's jam-packed.
Yeah. A rare moment of hesitation. You saw that from Silverant there. Maybe he was deciding what he's going to go for. Maybe Oleg moved. Maybe he didn't have a clear path with the fans out there. But just a ever so slight moment of hesitation before he made that dive. And it cost him in this instance. And the tides, they have shifted, Leonard.
That's a great point. You know, Silverant kind of having the fans' well-being in the back of his mind. Oleg barely cares about himself. I think he cares whether or not his reckless behavior, throwing himself around, is going to hurt somebody else. I'd be careful if you're in the ring with him.
Believe me. Yes.
Give him a wide berth.
Yes. You haven't lived till you've seen him try to figure out where the locker room is and try to explain to him where it is. There he got his more speed, but you saw he knows what caliber opponent he's in there with. Sometimes you'll see him take, 6 or 7 paces across the ring. He only took 2 there, and he went right for Silver, and he knew if he left him lay in that corner too long, it would cost him. Oh! One of the least popular moves Oleg the Usurper does, I understand, from his opponent. That senton just squashing the air out of your rib cage.
Gets a lot of momentum, just a real quick snap of his body, and he's a big boy Oleg, and that's a lot of weight coming down across you.
One of his more unorthodox maneuvers. And he's got several. He's got a plethora.
You go online, you see all these different people, these fans make videos of the top 100 moves of so on and so forth.
100.
Yeah, and somebody should make the most hated moves of Oleg.
Yeah, that would be the top 99 spots, I think. Just speaking of the unorthodox offense, you saw him there. He just literally threw Silverant into the ropes. Maybe the throat caught the top strand, the armpit somewhere caught the middle strand, but unorthodox yet effective. And this ring here, these are ropes. These are the actual rope. They cut, they scratch, and effective in that instance there by Oleg the Usurper.
And hard in the buckle, Oleg throwing his own body as he throws Silverant into the corner.
Extra oomph.
Not going for a cover here. He definitely has Silverant where he wants him. Saw him there raise his finger almost like, I've got an idea. I bet you his idea is I'm going to hit him a bunch.
A very faint, old light bulb went off.
It was a candle.
Yeah, it probably was. Very at home in these older style buildings. Not so much here in the garage, but several we have encountered this past weekend here in the UK. Very confused by the motor coach. Throwing off the elbow pads here. While I'm sure he has the intentions of more pressure and more intense strikes, all he really did, as we're seeing right now, is give Silverant a couple seconds to gain his thoughts, gain his composure, and get back in this one.
A little bit of a mistake, but he's still in control. As you see, Silverant was able to get the arms up to kind of lessen some of those blows, but he's still in the corner, pulls himself back up, ready to go, and that just seems to infuriate Oleg even more.
That's a boxing-style defense mechanism, just to put something up, try anything to block the blow. Even taking 90% of those blows as opposed to 100 could mean the difference in a knockout. Whoa, man.
I was wondering how this was going to turn out if it came down to strikes versus strikes, chops versus chops, and right now Silverant in control, but he needs to press the advantage here on Oleg, who catches him around the throat. Could be going for a choke slam. Nope.
Oh, snapped him.
Trying to think of the wheels of the big man, maybe trying to daze him a bit.
Just a quarter mile outside of a concussion city there, Leonard. Where that Enziguri landed. Oh, man. Not sure how area codes work over here in the UK, but drilled him with that one nonetheless. Double drop kick, one of his favorites. Flying missile drop. You gotta wonder what it takes out of him, but that's part of the risk versus reward scenario in his mind there. Seems to have decided that it does more good than harm.
Speaking more harm than good, flipping it on you. Like a step behind Silver and just smooshed him in the corner. And now the fans here at the garage getting behind Silverant.
Guys working on cars in the back. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't think it was going to be an active garage, but lo and behold.
Is Fonzie's apartment above this?
Yeah. Milwaukee. I think in Milwaukee.
That's some happy days took place when Milwaukee was still part of the United Kingdom.
Yeah. Oh, look at right between the shoulder blades of those kicks and able to sit on. Looks like he's got that Texas cloverleaf pretty well sunk in, sitting deep on the small of the back as well. And even worse, I was going to say his arms were trapped under him, which is the triple whammy there.
I was going to say that was going to be the difference there. Oleg was almost trapped, unable to move, but was able to get his arms out and almost immediately escape. Those very powerful legs kicking him off. Followed by a very powerful super kick from those powerful legs.
There's a lot behind those super kicks. You see many super kicks in the sport of pro wrestling today, but few have as much weight and power and sudden impact behind them as those of Oleg the Usurper.
Really, I haven't noticed a resurgence in the super kick.
It's like Hansel. It's so hot right now. I mean, we mentioned the unlikely draws of these teams. Both of them, in a way, seeming to at least try to make lemonade out of lemons here. Silverant, big fan of competition. Maybe not the team he wanted to be on, but he likes a good contest, he likes a good fight, and he's out there to have them. So he'll represent his team proudly.
Oleg was going to the top rope. I had no idea what he had in mind, and neither do I. Maybe I think he was trying to grab the lighting ring.
Probably a 630
up there, sure. Silver.
Oh, jeez, back suplex all the way down, and Silverant, these seconds just elapsing. There it is. Oleg kicks out at 2.
Yeah, hooking the inside leg, but not the time to argue. You have the advantage. Silverant maybe looking for that frog splash, but this time Oleg there to stop him in his track.
Yeah, every time they've been up that way, it's been bad news for Oleg, and he knows that now, trying to chase him up there, get the advantage of his own, and not let that happen. Never mind. Third time was the charm there.
If he could score, if Silverant could connect with the frog splash.
Oh, he got those knees up.
Wow, and Silverant came down.
It doesn't matter how many abs you have, Leonard F. Chikarason. You come down at that rate of speed onto those knees, it's going to be painful. Oh, cracked him. They heard that one in Manchester. Off with his head often means the end of the contest for Silverant.
There you just saw Oleg the Usurper picking up one of the 3 points he needs, and he's cashing in this weekend in Indianapolis at Shock and Awe, as he's in for the match of his career, challenging our grand champion Hollowicked for the richest prize in the game. If you want to be there live, there's still time to get advance tickets. Go over to CHIKARAPro.com right now and reserve your seats for Shock and Awe in Indianapolis, our Saturday night event in Chicago, Illinois. The Sword of Destiny is already sold out, but you can still grab tickets to Shock and Awe and our upcoming tour stops as well. We're headed to Connecticut and Rhode Island in the month of July. In August, we're back in Pennsylvania. Then in September, it's the Mothership, King of Trios, the biggest tournament in all of professional wrestling, and even more Season 15 tour dates have been announced. Head over to CHIKARAPro.com, pick up your advance tickets, and then meet me back here in a week for another edition of Podcast A Go-Go.